As the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party continues, one of the G5 governors, Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, has explained that members of the Integrity Group are still hopeful of reaching some form of alignment with the PDP on their demands. Well, the governor said conversations on their demands from the party are still ongoing, adding that it is not yet time for the G5 governors to reveal their preferred presidential candidate. Mr. Lionka, I smile, I don't understand.
Well,
what do you make of these internal wranglings?
The truth of the matter is that there's something going on which they have not been able to reveal. When their presidential candidate came to Lagos yesterday, none of them was there. And when it's going to go to Oyo State, will Makinde be there? Or when it's going to Rivers or going to Benue? I just think they have their own plans. How they want to resolve it is what I don't know. Because for the PDP, it is a big conundrum. How are you going to go to an election with a divided house? You might say that the G5 governors don't matter. But there is a Yoruba proverb that says that the leper may not be able to milk the cow, but he can pour away the milk. And that is perhaps what is going to happen, or what is happening. And I will tie it back also to APC. You know what? At this point, the APC should be able to get some leverage with this crisis, because there's always that thing that, okay, at the presidential level, if the governors are not supporting their own party's candidate, there will be some fringe supporters who will, because of that, say, okay, since our governor is not supporting our presidential candidate, let us support the ruling party or whatever. But unfortunately, the APC itself is not looking in that direction. Just to dovetail into what we have discussed earlier on, you have a party in power who has a candidate in an election, and that same party is making life difficult for the electorate who are going to who you should be pacifying to elect your candidate. So when the guy that called and said that maybe it's a grand plan to frustrate their presidential candidate's ambition, as much as I may not be able to agree with him or say whatever, but when you sit down and look at it, you begin to wonder, how can a party in power that has all the resources at its beck and call be doing this to itself when it has a dog in the fight? And then you are indirectly setting your own house on fire when you should be milking from the crisis that is in the honest, openness. At least when you look at it, whether we agree or not, PDP and APC are the party to beat. Not throwing away the Labour Party, quite all right. But I mean, in the fight now, or in the contest now, those are the two big parties. The LP is like an underdog. So if he loses, well, they don't have much to crow about. But the PDP and APC, rather than the APC using all its effort, I mean, because when you look at it, you begin to wonder, do these people, are they really working as a party? Are they really serious that they want their party to win? PDP is in crisis. What you should be doing is, okay, what do we do to lure these people to support us, even if not openly. But I'm not sure that is going on. So the PDP, whether they will resolve this crisis or not, whichever way, it has eaten into their support base.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure now, those 5 governors, it will be difficult for them. For Wike especially, and for Autumn, those two.
Yeah.
How will they go back to their people and tell them that, okay, we have resolved the issue, vote for our party? It will be difficult. It will be difficult. So it is the best thing now is for APC to sit down, think very clearly, what do we do?
You mean the PDP?
The APC itself. No, the PDP is like a forgotten. The horse has left the stable. The horse has left the stable. So if you close the stable, you are just closing an empty stable. These 5 governors, especially Autumn and Wike, those two. Where?
Paul, what are your thoughts? So where do you see this leading to?
You know, we had a similar discussion some weeks back. Jumoke was anchoring, and she asked me a similar question that what did I think would be the fate of PDP? I said one word. I said doom. Doom. See, PDP for some time has been using razor blade to cut its feet gradually. But now it's about to use a cutlass to take off the 2 feet. Now, it is actually in the interest of the PDP for them to come to a round table with these people. But though I think it's belated, but maybe it's not too late. It's not too late. I said let me reiterate what I said that time. I said that with the disenchantment of these G5 governors, the presidential candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, is contesting from a weakened position. I would now add very weakened position. I say this because in 2019, Atiku Abubakar was a formidable force that gave APC a run, how do you say it, for its money?
For its money.
In fact, I said it and I still say, there are people that still believe that Atiku was rigged out. I may not be sharing that view, but people who say that, it is because they acknowledge that Atiku was a powerful force. Now, Atiku has 3 forces to contend with. The APC, which is the ruling party. Which is the ruling party. Remember that PDP is not the ruling party. When PDP was the ruling party, it became weak because of the disgruntled people that left.
Yeah.
When it was the ruling party. Now that it is not the ruling party, it is still what? Divided. And then, so it's facing a serious challenge with the APC. That's number 1. It's facing a serious challenge with the Labour Party. PDP used to be the strongest in the Southeast. Yeah. But we know that the sentiment of many Southeasterners lie with Peter Obi. There are some exceptions. But majority of the people in the Southeast will go for Peter Obi. It is the truth. I don't know what they are considering. It may be an issue of ethnicity. It may be because they believe in him. It may be because they are also saying Emi Lokan, Awa Lokan, in their own way. I don't know, but it's a fact. That number 3, PDP is now having challenge from within. Look, let's get serious here. It's not because I hate PDP. PDP, unfortunately, has for many years now, for some years, failed to be a formidable opposition party that offers an alternative. There is no difference. If APC is bad, PDP is also bad. They are 2 sides of the same coin. The difference between PDP and APC is a difference between 6.5 dozen.
Who is in PDP today that has not been APC?
Exactly. It reminds me of the Orwellian Animal Farm. If you have read it, that book, the animals took over from Mr. Jones, the owner of the Manor Farm.
Yeah.
In the end, they took the progress that the animal farm had, you know, they started declining, and they went back. At some point, the animal, they couldn't tell the difference between human beings and the animals. That is what is happening. You know, it's very painful that in a country where you say the ruling party is bad, there has been no serious opposition. The only thing that looks like opposition now is the Labour Party or the obedient movement. I will see how far it will go. It's a shame that the PDP or no party can offer a credible alternative to the APC. And, you know, because people are just very selfish. Politicians are selfish interests. So the grandstanding that have been coming from the camp of Atiku, it is better they end it now. So if what Seyi Makinde said is true, that they are meeting, let us see how far that will go. But it's late. The election is coming in February. Although they say 24 hours is a long time in politics. But I know that the other parties are not resting. The APC is not resting. The Labour Party is not resting. They are strategizing. I do not see, for example, how PDP, Atiku will win the heart of the Southeasterners. I don't see how it's going to happen.
With that being said, Paul, Layinka, what is the possibility of this development affecting the PDP's chances at the polls?
Oh, it's all clear. It's very clear. He has said it. In 2019, PDP was a single party. But today, from the PDP, you have NNPP. Then Obi left PDP. So they are already divided. So, for instance, now, in the North, whether you like it or not, some of the votes that should belong or that ordinarily used to belong to PDP, some of it will go to NNPP, some to APC. The same thing in the Southeast. What used to belong to Southeast and South-South, what used to belong to PDP, will definitely is divided. In the Southeast, the Labour Party is there. In the South-South, we may not be able to predict blankly that it's going to either Labour or it's going to APC, but definitely there has been a leak in their armor. So definitely the PDP is not going to do well there. So the kind of fight that they gave the APC in 2019 is not going to happen. I want to make an example. You know, when Obasanjo was to do his second term and he had a problem with Atiku, whether it is true or not, it was out there that at a point, because most of the governors were with Atiku, Obasanjo had to prostrate to beg Atiku, whether it is true or not. But at the end of the day, they resolved their crisis, and Obasanjo won his second term. Maybe that was responsible. Maybe as a payback was what happened between the two of them. So at this point, I expect that Atiku also should eat the humble pie and think if he's serious. Because, as I said earlier, if you think that a leper cannot milk the cow, the leper will pour away the milk. So the best thing, if he thinks he is very serious, is go and talk to these people. But as Citizen John used to say, if your enemy is making a mistake, don't correct him. So that's what the APC today will be happy that, in fact, they will wish that the election was brought forward so that
in their favor.
They can deal with Atiku and everybody could go and rest.
Paul, what do you think needs to be done to reconcile all the aggrieved members? He's positing perhaps the presidential candidate approaches the aggrieved PDP members. Do you share same sentiments or you think otherwise?
You know, one of the major problems, has been the Iyoshiayu factor. Iyoshiayu said he will resign if a northerner emerged. For me, I think it was even wrong on the part of Atiku to have contested because of the thinking then in Nigeria that the power should return to the south. Okay, he emerged the president, the special candidate, no problem. So Dr. Iyoshiayu should have, in the overall interest of the party, stepped down at least, you know. So I don't know what this, whether the governors will accept for him to be there, but he said something. Yinka said something that he does not know how Houghton will go back, for example, and convince his people. I don't know how Wike will go back and convince his people that you cannot vote for a northerner. I have no problem with northerners. I have no problem with northerners. Please. But the truth of the matter is, the thinking in the south, the thinking even in the north, about some people in the north, is that power should come back to the south. That's the truth. That is why the northern APC governors themselves stood and said, no, in the spirit of equity, in the spirit of fairness, we cannot have a northerner, you know, become our flag bearer. And that is why Lawan today, that is what has led to Lawan's, you know, this situation today, is not a candidate, is not going back to the Senate, you know. So the truth of the matter is they have to just find a way to find a compromise. It's their problem. Let them resolve it.